Okay. Now sizoqala nge-topic entsha, organic chemistry. This section ikakhulukazi it constitutes of a third of a paper 2, that is 33.333%. And you know with the passing mark ya paper 2 is 30%. So ngicela ngingezwakali kabi, ungasibhala nje ungayenza lento moyithole yonke songayeka nje uqedile uphasile upaper 2 wakho. Kodwa ke phela bakwethu ngoba ufuna, you want to strive for excellence, you must do this uyenze yonke nalawa amanye ama questions, but there's a lot enzekayo, and le section futhi it's so easy to forget, it's so easy to grasp and so easy to forget. My advice ukuthi each time mase uyenzile wayiqeda, please before mhlambe ungajombisa nje usuku olulodwa umutadisha laphana, go through it until izingene engqondweni. Mo ungazoyiyeka uthi hayi sengiyayazi ngoba izokujikela mase uzoyifunda a day before you write. So be careful of this section. Organic chemistry, some books they call it biochemistry, but biochemistry, which means the chemistry a compound etholakala in living organisms. Bio means life, so kukhona le compound etholakala in living organisms. Umgogodla, it's a backbone, umgogodla wale section. That element iyona mesidla, iyona siyaqoka, iyona sine energy, iyona that compound sawusiyotatisha ngayo ke, that is carbon. Abanye bayibiza bathi is a chemistry of carbon, which means uma ngikhuluma konke la ngicela ngiyazi ngizokubhora ngoba ngizobe ngikhuluma nge-carbon kakhulu, kodwa ayikho into engayenza vele i-chemistry yayo, it's a backbone of the whole thing. Now before siya kule chemistry of carbon, I would like us to understand the concept of sibuyele mva laphana sibuyele mva kwi-science eka grade 10, grade 8, grade 9 njalo. Lana siyakhumbula safundiswa ukuthi sifundiswa nge-matter, sitshelwa nge-matter, but matter it's anything that occupies space. Number one, matter must occupy space. Number two, uma occupy space, kusho kuphela inesisindo. Ukuthi isisindo sincane kangakanani, that is immaterial, but what is important ukuthi it still has mass. Noma ngathiwa i-mass yakhona u-0.000000004, that is still mass. Noma ngathiwa i-light kangakanani, but it has mass and it qualifies to be called a matter. So matter, it's anything that occupies space and has mass. Toilet paper, that one sheet yakhona ipheshana lelo lidabulayo usula ngayo izibuko ungafanelanga ukuthi usula ngayo incane ngaka, but it still matter because it occupies space in a space sayo noma ngathiwa sincane kangakanani, but it occupies space and still in a single, so that is matter. Now when you take matter, tata matter, anything, kungayiphepha, kungayilento, kungayitafula, what, uyihlephula matter, uyihlephula, uyidivida, uyihlephula ibencane, uyihlephula futhi ebuncaneni wayo, uyihlephula, uyidivida, uyofika to a point lapho ingabe isadivideka khona, ingabe isancipha, ingabe isahlephuleka khona. Mase ufika lapho kusho ukuthi sowufike kulento eyakha leyo matter, which means mesisha njengesingisi sithi it's indivisible. Ufika to a point where matter is indivisible. mase ufike lapho soyabona abantu bescience bayibona ukuthi leyo that building block of a matter it's called an atom. Now i-atom bakwethu iyakheke kanjani? Abantu bescience bathola ukuthi that small anyana thing oyibuka, ngizoyibeka ngesizulu ngiyazi izozwakala kabuhlungu bese ngibeka ngesingisi bese ngithi hayi cha impela njalo. Abanye bathi uyibuka ngamehlo anqunu, kusho ukuthi amehlo ungafakanga ngayo ama magnifying glass, ngesingisi bathi with a naked eye. Izwakala mnandi mothi naked eye, kodwa ngesizulu mothi anqunu kuthi hawu yini kangaka. So moyibuka with your naked eye awukwazi ukuyibona i-atom, it's so small, but kumele uyibheke under i-microscope. Under microscope kwatholakala ukuthi i-atom inani kunama-protons la, kunama-nucleus kwi-atom. And around the atom kukhona lento kuthiwa it's energy levels. So now kune atom, i-atom yethu iyakhiwa i-nucleus, nani around the nucleus kune ama-energy levels. Now kwi-nucleus batholani phakathi na? Ngeke ngikhuluma isitory eside nje, just to give you i-idea, ngoba seniyenzile laphana ka grade 8 and 9. Mina ngiyontshontsha nje khona, ngiyotapa laphana ka grade 8 and 9 okutapekayo. Now kunani laphana kwi-nucleus? Kunama-protons. Inside the nucleus we have protons. Ama-protons anjani na? Are positively charged. Now he has a PP, protons, positive. Protons are positively charged. So phakathi kwe-nucleus we've got protons that are positively charged, and futhi phakathi kwe-nucleus we have neutrons, yeah. Ngicabanga spelling sakhona. Neutrons. Protons that are positively charged, neutrons. Ngizosho into a very controversial. I'll say something that is too controversial. I know bafundisiwe abantu lapha befunda khona ukuthi neutrons are neutral. Ama-neutrons are not neutral. Ngoba into neutral, i-body neutral, ena equal number of protons and electrons. In an equal number of positive charges and negative charges, then that body is neutral. Guma acids and base sithe amanzi are neutral. Why is it amanzi are neutral? Anani ano H plus olingana nani no OH minus. This is what makes the solution neutral. So neutrons are not neutral, but neutrons do not have a charge. There's a difference between not having a charge and neutral. If you don't have a charge, you neither have positive ions or negative ions. It's just nothing. How no charge? How collude? And if you are neutral, you have equal number of positive and negative. So neutrons are neutral. Ngamanye mazwi, nucleus, what makes nucleus, what is the charge of nucleus? Obviously, the charge of nucleus will be positive. What makes it positive? It is the presence of protons. That makes it positive. Kunama protons and neutrons nje, ama neutrons do not contribute to charge ngoba awana charge. Akona nje ama neutrons kodwa ama charge dololo. Ngapha ama protons are positively charged and ama neutrons are contributing ngayiphi charge a positive. Njengoba icontributor nge-charge positive okwenza ukuthi i-charge ye-nucleus ibe positive. Now, ama-atoms nama-atoms awafani awama-elements ahlukahlukene. Mesibheka ku-periodic table sinala ama-elements esiwaziyo kakhulu o-hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, aluminium, silicon, calcium, njalo njalo, potassium. So ke uyibhekeke lapho sinawo all those elements. Now abantu bescience ikhona ilogic abayibonile kuma-elements. Bathola ukuthi ilayo naleyo ma-elements anama-protons angalingani. Number of protons is not the same. Ngamanye amazwi bathola ukuthi ukubekeka kwama-elements kwi-periodic table kuya ngokuthi leyo element inama-protons amangaki. I-hydrogen njengoba sithi i-atomic number number 1. Why i-hydrogen ibe number 1 kwi-atomic number yayo? Yingoba ine-proton eyodwa. Ayikho enye element under the sun ene-proton eyodwa kwi-nucleus ngaphandle kwe-hydrogen. That is why number 1. Tisha ngicela uyisho ngesingisi phela thina sakhrenyiswa ngesingisi ukuze ngiyi-understand. Ngiyazi bese ngishilo so yoqala unqekeza ikhanda lapho khona kanti the atomic number gives us the number of protons that are found in the nucleus. Uma bethi define atomic number, just say these are the number of protons that are found in the nucleus. Lawo ma-protons owathola kwi-nucleus lawo, lelo nani lama-protons iyona atomic number. Okusitshela ukuthi hydrogen number 1 proton, helium number 2 protons, lithium number 3 protons, oxygen number 8 protons, njalo njalo. Carbon number 6 protons. 6 protons. Calcium 20 protons. Potassium number 19 protons. So ayikho i-element under the sun enama-protons awu-6 ngaphandle kwe-carbon. Ayikho i-element under the sun enama-protons awu-8 besides oxygen. That's what makes them unique. That is why kwi-periodic table zinikezwe the atomic number. Now ngingakhuluma lize lishone ngoba ngikhuluma nje lisakhona ilanga manje ngingaze lishone ungaze ungabusangibona. Asikhulumeke nge-hydrogen. I-hydrogen being number 1, njengoba number 1 ine proton eyodwa ngoba vele number 1 proton. Now i-hydrogen being number 1 ine proton eyodwa, i-hydrogen e-neutral ine-proton eyodwa ibe ne-electron eyodwa, i-neutral leyo hydrogen. Now kutholakala ukuthi kune-proton eyodwa, iba ne-electron futhi eyodwa. Now i-proton ela ye-hydrogen ayindawo, imile ibambekile nje, ayindawo. Let me address this. I'm linking this with paper 1, electrostatics. I'm linking now this information with electrostatics, paper 1. I guess it is in potassium. In potassium, number 19. Sit is in calcium, number 20. Potassium inama-protons awu-19 kwi-nucleus. That's why number 19. Itingwapana 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Inama-protons awu-19 are-positive. Njungathi iphambano lichazwa lesiphambano. Ngaze ngasithwala isiphambano, how calcium yaze yasithwala iphambano, cha u-positive charge le. I-calcium nayo inama-protons awu-20, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, i-catch is here. Ayikho a body that can gain a proton. Neither can it lose a proton. Cannot.
ngeke ukuthi ngelinye ilanga i-calcium bese ilahlekelwe i-proton. Ngeke, ngoba lawo ma-protons are stationed inside the nucleus. Ngamanye amazwi, in short, I can say you cannot gain a proton, neither can you lose a proton. You cannot do that. Proton is always there. Ake ngithi ngabomu akusilona iqiniso leli. Unabo i-calcium nama-protons awu-20 vese nilahlekelwe i-proton eyodwa. Uyabona manje seyoba yini i-potassium. Nawe nje ungayilahla lento, ngikulethela i-calcium emva kwesikhashana soyabona iyashintsha sekuyi-potassium. Hayi enye magic le. Uyabona amawindi lawa enziwe nge-aluminium, niyazi ukuthi i-aluminium iwu-number 13. Uma kwenzeka igaina ama-protons ayiwagaini, ngiyayixoxela nje bese kube yi-silicon. Uthi uvuke ekuseni akusase-aluminium uyento sokuyi-silicon. Hayi, nami lowo muzi lowo ngabaleka ngathi hayi mhlawumbe yi-horror movie ekuyona. Akuhambi kanjani. Ngamanye amazwi, I want to stress, you cannot gain a proton. Protons are always there. Protons tells us what type of, or what is that element. Sibona nge-proton, number of protons. Njengoba ngishilo ngathi i-carbon inama-protons awu-6. Iyohlala ibe nama-protons awu-6 mhlawumbe until nature changes it, but inama-protons awu-6. Then-ke yini lenzekayo na? Sesinamanye ama-organelle okubizwa ukuthi ama-electrons that are negatively charged. Ama-electrons ke bakwethu, i-hydrogen ngoba iyodwa, i-hydrogen e-neutral ine-electron eyodwa. Kwatholakala ukuthi i-electron leyo itholakala uma usuka nje from the nucleus, uthi i-electron itholakala imove around the nucleus. Iyona ke ama-electrons amuvayo, ayahamba kama-electrons, awamile, amove around the nucleus. Ungakhohliswa ke ukubona isandla sami sihamba slow kangaka. Ungakhohliswa ukubona, hey, ama-electrons ayagijima. Ama-electrons ayagijima. Njengoba ngikhanyisa nje laphana ugesi ukhanya, kusuke sekuwama-electrons. Awucabange nje ukuthi agijima kanjani, speed sakhona. Njengoba kushaya umbani nje, mokushaya umbani, abe-geography bayazi ukuthi kureleaseka ama-electrons. Buka nje ukuthi agijima ngesivinini esingakanani. So ke uzongixolela uma ngenza kanjena, yazi ukuthi ngifake kwi-slow motion wena, unyawo lonwabo lwama-electrons. I move around the nucleus. So hydrogen iyodwa, it may move around the nucleus at the same time iyaspina. Ake sithathe ukuthi i-nucleus le, i-electron le, as it moves around the nucleus, hayi ngale speed engihamba ngazo, mengathi ngigijima ngespeed sama-electrons, ngingaba nenzululwane, abantu bangazi bacabanga ukuthi kwenkonzo ethize egijima around that. It may hamba around, then it spins. Hamba kanje. It spins on its axis. Senginenzululwane manje ngiyazi abanye bebengibona sengithi sethi kusho cha akuhambi kanjalo. Now it may move around the nucleus, at the same time it spins. Ngamanye amazwi, uma ekuspineni kwayo, abantu be-science bathola ukuthi ingaspina ispiniso kwewashi, nali iwashi lihamba kanje, thina sithi clockwise. Manje abantu bethi clockwise, cabanga ukuthi clock uwise ukuhlakanipha, cha, ihambisa kwewashi, iwashi lihamba kanje. Mobuka lento ethi ihamba from left to right. So ngamanye amazwi i-mover i-electron lapho i-mover clockwise. Kuyenzeka ukuthi ngisakhuluma nge-hydrogen iyodwa nje, it's either it moves clockwise or anti-clockwise. Clockwise around the nucleus or anti-clockwise. So ke ime kanjalo ke. So ngamanye amazwi around the nucleus i-electron ihamba kanjalo. Makwethu le information important kanje. Uma uyibambisisile uyohleka wedwa mase singena sesishaya manje i-organic. Now sine hydrogen ine electron eyodwa. So ngamanye amazwi i-hydrogen obviously ine energy level eyodwa. Energy level eyodwa ngoba ine electron eyodwa. So around the nucleus we have energy level. Now listen to that word, energy level. A certain amount of energy. Level it is energy. So which means the electron in energy it is equal to move around that. Umasiya ku helium He lena ma protons out 2. I-helium lena ma protons out 2. Kutholakala ukuthi i-helium inama protons out 2 njengoba i-neutral ibe nama electrons out 2. Lena 1 2 electrons 2 protons. So now kwatholakala ukuthi kwi-helium njengoba ama electrons out 2 atholakala entweni kusho ukuthi it's known as an orbital. Now leyo orbital leyo, that's where ama electrons atholakala khona. I-electron for in case of helium ama electrons amabili kuleyo orbital. And now my electrons amabili, something very interesting athi etholakala kuleyo orbital, ispin sayo asifani. Enye electron it may spin kanje, enye ispin kanje in the same orbital. Ngiyayibuza ukuthi uma labanye abamabandla akuthize ubone omunye ispina mhlambe bayayazi let's concept le, or mhlambe abazi ukuthi bayayazi kusho ngesinye isikhathi ufuna ukuthi uye khona nje ubabuke be-drought how nathi nama electrons enye ihamba clockwise enye ihamba anti-clockwise kanti at the same time bayadraya. So ngamanye amazwi ama electrons lana enye ihamba clockwise enye ihamba anti-clockwise in the same orbital. Now ngendlela ezihamba ngayo ihamba kanje, ihamba kanje ngespeed esikhulu, kukhona ehamba kanje, ehamba njengayo nje ngespeed esikhulu, ithi enye mihamba kanje enye ihambe kanje. Thisha ngicela ukubuza ukuthi ayishayisani na? Ayikaze ishayisani. So far ayikaze ishayisani. Siyabonga ukuthi azikaze ishayisani. Asazi ukuthi mase ishayisana kuzoba njani. So now siyathola ukuthi asibuyele ku-hydrogen there is only one electron in the s orbital. In the first energy level. Why is it the first energy level? Ingoba mawusuka kwi-nucleus uya laphana uhlangana ne-energy level yokuqala. Ngenhlanhla ke hydrogen ine energy level eyodwa ngoba ine electron eyodwa. So this is the first energy level and also is the outer energy level because there are no electrons. There are no energy levels laphana, only one electron. Is in the s orbital. Now, helium siyathola ukuthi yebo inama electrons amabili. Njengoba inama electrons amabili, nayo i-first energy level s orbital kunama electrons amabili. Now, moya kwi-lithium, bathi bebheka i-lithium inama protons out 3. With lithium, sinama protons out 3. With nucleus, we have 3 protons. njengoba sinama-protons awu-3, i-lithium e-neutral inama-protons awu-3 nama-electrons awu-3. Lalela-ke ngikuxoxela indaba, ungatsheli muntu indaba yami nawe le. Hey, kwatholakala ukuthi lama-electrons awu-3, i-lithium manje iyahluka ne-helium. I-lithium bese ibe nama-energy levels amabili, i-energy level yokuqala ne-energy level yesibili. I-lithium inama-energy level awu-2. Kusho ukuthi kwatholakala ukuthi kulama-electrons awu-3 e-lithium. Why ngithi 3 electrons? Ngoba i-lithium e-neutral inama-electrons awu-3 nama-protons awu-3. 3 protons in the nucleus, 3 electrons. Kulaba ama-electrons awu-3 kwi-first energy level kwatholakala ukuthi kuna 2 electrons. 2 electrons i-lithium leyo. How second energy level sekukhona leya electron. Manje bafika yabantu bathi bechecka all these other elements. Angifuni ukukhuluma ngazo ziningi kodwa kwatholakala ukuthi kuwona wonke ama-elements starting from helium kunama-electrons awu-2 kwi-second energy level, kwi-first energy level kunama-electrons awu-2, which means all these other elements, they've got 2 electrons in the first energy level. Okusibuyisela ekutheni baze beza ngomthetho ukuthi kwi-first energy level, i-first energy level of any element can accommodate, it accommodates how much? Accommodates a maximum, a maximum of 2 electrons. First energy level, and with the first energy level, kuna s orbital, only s orbital, first energy level. Even the s orbital accommodates 2 electrons. S orbital also accommodates, s orbital also accommodates a maximum of 2 electrons. Siyabona ke ukuthi even s orbital first energy level utholakala orbital eyodwa, only one, and that is the s orbital. Now, seeing that the first energy level accommodates a maximum of 2 electrons, which means the s orbital is responsible for accommodating a maximum of 2 electrons. Manje abantu babona ama-electrons akwi-s orbital uma ahamba like this. Manje njengoba egijima ngespeed esikhulu, enye ihamba kanje, enye ihamba kanje, enye yale. Kukhona lo othi mase si-representela la kwi-s orbital hydrogen, mhlambe uzothi athi this is i-spin se-hydrogen. Say electron, not hydrogen. Electron kwi-first energy level i-spin sakhona ilesi. Singaba clockwise or i-spin sakhona sinjanje anti-clockwise. Abanye bathi Lewis structure. Uma uzala ama-electrons awu-2 kwi-s orbital, kwatholakala ukuthi enye it's clockwise, enye ihamba anti-clockwise. Yebo, njengoba zihamba kanje noma kanje, nansi nucleus la, njengoba kade ngikhombisile ukuthi yize zihamba kanje, kodwa at the same time they move around the nucleus. 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 lento ifuna ungayenzi usuthi kakhulu ufaka istampu singabona sesinyuka istampu so uzosithele ngaso kanti asisidingi so usidlile nje. Now we have lithium. Lithium nayo kwi first energy level manje kuno s orbital sithe u-s unani na takes 2 electrons. Lithium futhi kwi-second energy level, sesiya kwi-second energy level, i-lithium inama-electrons awu-3 awu-2 atholakala kwi-first energy level. Siyazi ukuthi i-first energy level can accommodate a maximum of 2 electrons. Second energy level, hey bawethu, nansi indaba ngixoxela. Kwatholakala ukuthi uma sithi let's say fast forward, sikhuluma ngamanye ama-elements hlala ku-add ama-electrons, kwatholakala ukuthi kwi-second energy level, i-second energy level can accommodate a maximum of 8 electrons. 8. First is 2, the next one it's 8. Kulo 8 electrons kwatholakala ukuthi kwi-second energy level kukhona u-s orbital no-p orbital. Ama-electrons akwi-s orbital uwabona uthi moyibuka under microscope ubona ngathi into ahamba into around kanti agijima akunikeza i-shape around, which means the s orbital isinikeza i-shape enjani na around enje s orbital. So each time mezobe sichaza sikhuluma nge-s orbital ubona ngibhala a round shape, you must know ukuthi ngikhuluma nge-s orbital, ngikhuluma nge-electron kwi-s orbital. So now silaphana lithium, siyathola ukuthi kwi-lithium we've got 1 electron. Now naku abakutholile first energy level s, second energy level oqala ukuyithola is the s bese kulandele the p orbital, which means lo s okwi second energy level iwona oseduze kwe-nucleus as compared to u-p. Usuka la uthola kuqala ka-s ama-electrons aku-s bese mawuqhubeka from the nucleus sikhuluma nge-second energy level bese sithola ama-electrons aku-p. Nawe s awumncane nawe p awumncane ngoba ukhona la. So now we have s orbital and p orbital. So with lithium njengoba ina 3 first energy level igcwele manje, igcwele ngamanye amazwi i-first energy level igcwaliswa ama-electrons awu-2. Second energy level igcwaliswa ama-electrons awu-8 ngoba awu-2 aku-s orbital. Bese u-p orbital can accommodate a maximum of 6. 6 plus 2 it's 8. So now leya electron eyodwa eseyisele la sithe awu-2 la eyodwa iba kwi-s orbital 1 electron. Lana sibona lento okuthiwa lento ngikhombisayo how electrons are arranged, sibiza sithi electron configuration. Alright, now sesikhulumile ke nge-lithium. Ake sibheke elandelayo enama-protons. Le ne-proton eyodwa iwu-number 1 hydrogen, le ne-proton amabili iwu-number 2 helium, le ne-proton abathathu iwu-number 3 lithium. Bese sibona le nama-protons awu-4 le bathi beryllium. Beryllium 1 2 3 4. Beryllium, obviously i-beryllium ithi nama-protons awu-4 ibe nama-electrons awu-4. I-beryllium e-neutral 4 protons 4 electrons. So now ahlezi kanjani ke ama-electrons akhona, sesikhuluma manje nama-electron configuration. Kwi-first energy level kwi-s orbital there are 2 electrons. Njengoba ama-electrons ewu-4 awu-2 atholakala kwi-first energy level.
Then the second energy level, the s orbital, we also have 2 electrons. Our 2 now atolakala kwi second energy level. So the second energy level manje ye beryllium inama electrons awu 2. Ukuzigcwale sishilo sathi ukuzigcwale i second energy level idinga ama electrons awu 8. So njengoba ku S no P kuno 2 la kusana lesa space sama electrons ngoba u P orbital njengoba bengishilo, it can accommodate a maximum of 6 electrons. Right now sesiyabona ukuthi i-beryllium ina 2 ishota nga 6. Ngifuna ukugcizelela le ndaba leyo yokushota. Lena i-hydrogen ina 1 electron kwi first energy level okuyi outer energy level ngoba ine energy level eyodwa ishota ngo-1 to igcwalise. Indaba lapho ukugcwalisa bakwethu ubona nje ku-reactor nje kubangwa ama-electrons yileyo naleyo element ifuna ukugcwalisa i-outer energy level yayo kafikwa yaliwa kubangwa nje lapho. Yikho lokhu i-helium ayibangisi muntu ayilwi ngoba igcwele i-outer energy level yayo 2 electrons igcwele. Yikho lokhu kuthiwa i-helium it's unreactive, ayi-react. Abanye bathi it's inert, igama ke le-science ke leso ngazothi it's unreactive kungcono ukuthi it's inert. Yalizwa mnandi kanjani lelo gama? Hayi unreactive, thina sesithini na inert. It's inert, it's a noble gas. Lezo no group 0 zonke lezo their outer energy level is full, they don't react. Thisha ngicela ukubuza mengingagwinya i-helium ngizokwenzekani? Ngeke lutho, iyokuhlala nje wena wenze lutho ngoba i-outer energy level yayo igcwele. Kodwa ungahambi nje uthi hayi ngisafuna ukuya lapha ngifuna ukuchecka ngalo, ungazothi mase kwenzeka izintwana ezithize bese uthi hayi manje umgwinyise unginikeza umgwinyo we-helium. Hayi yangikho lapho. Beryllium inama 4 electrons. You number 4 electrons, 4 protons. Kulama electrons are 4, 2 electrons, first energy level. The other 2, second energy level. Sesiya kuphi manje? Boron 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 protons. Uthisho wazi kanjani? You number 5. You number 5 atomic number tells us the number of protons that are found in the nucleus. 5 protons. I-boron e-neutral inani na? Inama protons awu 5 nama electrons awu 5. Ahlezi kanjani ama electrons? A-arranged kanjani? Hawu, kwi-first energy level, kwi-s orbital 2 electrons. Njengoba sewu-2 sekusele 3 manje. Hawu lana u-3 second energy level s orbital 2. Siyazi sithe u-s orbital also accommodates a maximum of 2 electrons. Cannot accommodate more than that. Maximum, minimum 1 electron. Ngengizwe umuntu ethi minimum, ethi how minimum uthi hawu umamncane lona umamncane minimum cha asikhulumi ngobani na ngomamncane. Ungafika ekhaya ubiza umamncane wakho uthi hawu sawubona minimum, uyithola i-minimum inhlanakela impama enzima kabi, uyokuthi uyokuhubha ngempama ngoba uthe kuyena ubani na minimum. So we have say 2 sekusele ngaki i-electron eyodwa. Itholakala lo electron eyodwa still ku second energy level p orbital 1 electron. This is what is known as the electron configuration of boron, or how electrons are arranged around in nucleus of boron. Says nama electrons, which means we inner energy level, we first energy level. First it's not 2 electrons. First energy level it's full.
ama-electrons ala satisfied, angeke ayendawo agcwele nje ayimuvela nje, enye ihamba clockwise enye ihamba anti-clockwise, kumnandi nje la. Lana awu-3 ama-electrons atholakala kwi-second energy level, kodwa awu-2 atholakala kwi-s orbital, eyodwa kwi-p orbital. Isashoda i-boron, yikho lokhu i-boron before i-reactor ifuna ukuthi yona meyiza nama-electrons awu-3 ukuze igcwale, wena kumele uze nawu-5. Yona i-contributor nga-3, wena kumele uze na-5. Ayiphathi-ke. Uma ufuna u-800 rand, yona i-contributor ngo-300, wena u-contributor ngo-500. Ya, ngoba phela sifuna u-8. Hayi, angikho lapho, ungaze unginikeze ama-example ezimali, kodwa ngenza uthungiswe. Bese siya kwi-carbon, nawo-ke ukhiye wethu. Carbon, protons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ithi ngibabhale kanje, 6 protons. 6 protons. A neutron, 6 protons, 6 electrons. Mami kanjani ama-electrons lawana bawu-6 na? First energy level, s orbital, 2 electrons. Gcwele first energy level e-carbon, njengoba u-6 leya 2 ingene kwi-first energy level. Outer energy level, which is the second energy level, inama-electrons awu-4, ishoda nga-4. Buka wena. 2 electrons, s orbital, 2. Second energy level, s orbital, 2 electrons. Second energy level, p orbital, also 2. Menbona i-trend sekuedeka manje ku-p orbital. Ngeke ngiyeke kude la. Na umuntu esiyokhuluma ngaye ngila bakwethu. I-carbon inama-protons awu-6. I-carbon kwi-outer energy level, nansi i-outer energy level yakhona, inama-protons ama-electrons awu-4. Idinga u-4 to fill up their outer energy level. I-carbon injalo idinga u-4. Now ngicela-ke ukunikeza i-structure, the Lewis structure sala. Right, sithila manje ne-carbon. Lokho kunye mongakuzwanga so uzobuyela kuyobheka kwi-textbook yaka grade 8 no-9. Ngichazile phela nginje, mongangizwanga ubuyele ka-8 and 9 uyokwenza futhi kwi-textbook. Mina I was just trying to simplify. Asikhulume ngalama-electrons that are found in the outer energy level. Lawa asetshenziswayo to fill up their outer energy level. La i-reaction yenzeka kuwona, we call them valence electron. Those are electrons that are found in the outer energy level. I-carbon inama-electrons awu-4. Akheke kanjani? Ake sithathe ukuthi la phansi it's a nucleus. First energy level, let's circle up. Second energy level, s orbital, electrons awu-2. Different spin. Ngeke ubone i-electron of the same spin in the same orbital. Akwenzeki. Thisha kudalwa yini? Nama ngazi umdali wayibeka kanjani. Khona ezinye izinto ezama-mysteries abantu be-science bayahluleka ukuziqonda ukuthi yini. So ningacabanga ukuthi abantu be-science bazi yonke into. Khona nezinto ezibaxakayo. Khona ulwandle laphana bathi is Bermuda Triangle. Once ngadlula phezu kwaleyo triangle ye-Bermuda ngase-Mediterranean Sea, e-Pacific Ocean, medlula nje ibhanoyi ladlula lapho awazi ukuthi aphele laphi. Nemkhumbi yangena nje lapho around that triangle, a big one, iyalahleka imkhumbi. Basaxakekile o-scientist ukuthi yini lapho. Manje akekho ufuna ukuyongena yobheka ukuthi kunani. uJehova phela wazi ukuthi why kunjalo. Nalana why ama-electrons aya opposite spin, enye ihambe clockwise, enye ihambe anti-clockwise, ungeke uyithole with the same spin? No one knows, but it's like that. 2p orbital. Now sinani na up wethu okokuqala bakwethu, up orbital, ama-electrons aku-p orbital ahamba kanjani? Ahamba athatha le shape enje, p orbital. Mina ngihamba very slow, ahamba very fast. Sithe aku-s wabona ngani? Ahamba kanje. Aku-p wabona ngani? Ahamba kanje. Athi mehamba kanje i-nucleus le, athi up lo i-nucleus le, athi hey, manje ngiyasaba kuyenza mhlawumbe umuntu ongibuka lapha ewindini bese nabona kodwa le ndoda iyenzani manje? Mhlawumbe use-Fort Napier, kubaleke e-Fort Napier. Cha, p orbital ihamba kanje. Now enye mehamba kanje, enye iphambana nayo ihamba kanje. Bona ke? So the way they move, the way they spin is not the same. Enye it may spin like this, enye spin opposite to that. Now we have the p in the x-axis, the p in the y-axis, the p in the z-axis. Okay, singayibeka kanjani lento? The p in the x, px, py, pz. All right. Ithini maths yethu ngebhadi bakwethu, ibhodi lethu it's only 2-dimensional. Inama dimensions are 2. We have the y dimension and the x dimension. The y and the x and the x. Ngisachaza le ndaba ye px, py, pz. The y and the x. Uma ngathi angidwebela ibhola, wena uzothi ibhola linje, uyodweba uthi ingaba ibhola eliphelele. It's not like that. Kukhona le part esingakwazi ukuyidweba, le evele ekhukhumele ngapha, ayidwebeki. It's another dimension leyo engakwazi ukudwebeka. Yebo ibhola sinani? Sino y-axis, sino x-axis, but asinayo u-z-axis. Noma ngathi awudweba umuntu, wena uyodweba uthi nawu lo muntu lona, hayi nangu lo muntu, umdwebe kahle uthi hayi amadevana lokho, amehlo lawa, njalo njalo. Unjalo yini umuntu na? Kukhona leya nyama ela ongakwazi ukuyidweba. Ngoba ibhodi lethu it's only 2-dimensional. Sibona y and the x phela. That's what we can draw. Ngamanye amazwi ama-electrons in actual fact they are 3-dimensional. Kukhona ahamba x dimension, kukhona ahamba y dimension, bese kukhona ahamba u-z. Ngingakhombisa kanje, u-x lo, u-y lo, u-z lo. Bona manje sikwazi ukuyidweba kanje. Kusho ukuthi ngamanye amazwi u-p wakhona omunye uza ngapha uyophumela ngale. So ke uma uyibuka wena under microscope, uyibuka kahle, nansi nucleus. Hey, lezi eziku-px, py, pz zihamba kanje, ubona zihamba kanje, enye ithi zihamba around the nucleus, ihambe kanjalo in 3-dimension. Now look kusisaphi na, we have the px, py, pz. U-px very obviously ume kwi-x dimension, ithi ngidwebe nje la na ubone sizothi nje u-x lo py sizothi y lo u-x u-y u-z uhamba kanje. So now to draw yonke lento bese nesithi shaya amagqabhagqabha la. Lona umeleni na u-z siyazi ukuthi wona ume kanje. Right. Now i-carbon first energy level enama electrons out 2. First energy level 2 electrons. Second energy level inama electrons out 4. Out 2 aku-s. Eyodwa iku-px, the other one iku-py. Ibanje i-carbon. Eyodwa iku-px, the other one iku-py. Ibanje ngeke imvelo yayo sengikhulumela all the elements, nature yawo ngeke mase kuzala bese kuba o-px ababili kungekho kuba u-px ngiyamfanisa nje kusho ukuthi 1 no 1 elandelayo element elandela i-carbon si-add ama-electron akhona idzana elandela leyo ime kanje bese kugcwala la. Angeke ubone kunje ukuthi ayisokugcwele ku-x eyodwa la lena ayikatholi lutho. I-nature ayikayivumeli lento enjalo, ayikazi kwenzeka kanjani na. I-carbon injena elandelayo enama-protons awu-7 i-nitrogen leyo injena. I-oxygen usokugcwele la bese kulandela ibe njena ama-electrons njalo ngiyazi wena so uyayithola kahle. Ngiyazi wena lapho khona uthi okay ulungile phela umuntu okay ngingilaleleke phela manje baseza abo okay abaningi. So ke sine-carbon enjena. Now i-carbon enjena enabo electron abawu-2 kwi-s orbital, eyodwa ku-px eyodwa ku-py. I-carbon lena isuke ingakabi ready to form a bond. Isuke injani na? Isuke thina it's in the ground state. An element that is in the ground state is in a state whereby it is not yet ready to form a bond. I gotta be ready to form a bond. Ground state. Shoti ukuze i-carbon ikwazi uku-reacta namanye ama-elements kumele kwenzeke okuthize la kwi-outer energy level yayo. As long as ama-electrons awu-2 kwi-carbon, khuluma nge-carbon manje sikuyeke lokho kunye siyeza kukona kodwa noma singafikanga nje nansi into ebalulekile. As long as lama-carbon ama-electrons awu-2 akwi-s awu-2 aku-p eyodwa ku-px py, i-carbon ayikwazi uku-react, it's in a ground state. Bese benze njani na abantu be-science? Bese bayi-expose to ultraviolet light. Uma beyi-expose to ultraviolet light, ungakhohlwa lama-electrons lawa akwi-energy level eseduze or akwi-orbital eseduze ne-nucleus, they've got less energy than lawana. How? Uthisha usho ukuthini? Asikhulume ngayo i-carbon. 2 electrons la, this is carbon. Sina 2 kwi-s orbital, sibe na 2 electrons. 2 electrons kwi-s, 2 electrons kwi-p. Lana i-nucleus le bese kuba ne first energy level s orbital 2 electrons. Now mobuka la i-distance phakathi kwe-nucleus sithe i-nucleus i-positive lena i-negative incane, so i-force ebambe la lama-electrons inkulu.
So ama-electrons njengoba bebambeke nge-force enkulu, they don't move freely. Yes, they have the energy, hence they move ngoba isondelene aziyahamba nje zona, but as you move away from the nucleus, sengikhuluma enye portion ye-science, electrostatics, as the distance between the nucleus and the electron is increased, as the distance between a positive charge and negative charge is increased, the electrostatic force becomes less. Electrostatic force between positive and negative, force between the charges. Ngiyakhabulisa paper one there. Electrostatic force is less. Njengoba electrostatic force iba less, kusho ukuthi ama-electrons ala amuva kangcono, amuva ngespeed esikhulu ngoba awadonsekanga kakhulu. So ngamanye amazwi ama-electrons ala akwi-s orbital, second energy level, they've got more energy than lawa ala. Why? Ngoba lawa asondelene ne-nucleus awamuvi freely, lawa akude kune-nucleus iwona amuva freely. Kodwa lawa akude kakhulu kune-nucleus, moqhathanisa lawa ne-nucleus, lawa akude kakhulu kune-nucleus, kusho ukuthi ama-electrons ala, they've got lesser energy than here. Lama electrons ala ku-s orbital, the second energy level, they've got less energy than ku-p orbital, which means u-p laphana uthanda ukuba ne-energy ephezudlwana ama-electrons ala. So kwenzekani? Once you expose carbon to ultraviolet light, sithola phi na? From the sunlight. Not soap. Abantu seyojabula how le sunlight le enqupha ngayo manje kushothi nayo inama ultraviolet light. Cha, sisho ukukhanya kwelanga. Sengiya kubantu be-life science abakade bebefundisa nge-glucose and so on, ukwakheka kwe-glucose. Kuthiwa la uma i-light iba exposed, if i-carbon iba exposed to i-light, one of electrons la at the lower state gets excited, it gains the energy, and it gets excited. Lalela leli kama elite excited. Balifaka in quotes. Bavesen but excited, not necessarily ukuthi inama feelings manje kusho ukuthi yakitazeka yona, it gets excited. Bebengazi ukuthi abantu be-science bangayinikeza, niyazi phela thina abe-science, when it comes to isingisi i-vocabulary yethu is limited. Hence we talk of excited. Yeah, they get excited. One of them, as it gets excited, it jumps from the lower orbital to a higher one. Umaigoma from the lower to a higher, rendering four electrons without partners. Ile onalo ifuni partner yayo manje. I-carbon manje inama electrons awu-4 azodinga i-partner. No. Esimene esinjena i-carbon idinga 4, ina 4. So uhlobo le-bond elizoyakha kumele phela kusherishwe bakwethu. Ngeke uthi wena uyothenga inkukhu kuthiwa u20 rand bese uthi kumuntu umono 10 rand nayo ne10 rand. Obviously uma uzenga no10 rand nayo eza no10 rand, nenkukhu nje ihlukanisela phakathi ngoba nisherisha ngokufana. Ungathi kumuntu hayi manje ngigcwalise ngo10 rand ngifuna ukuthenga inkukhu ngoba nami ngino10 rand. Hayi, nizoyidla nimabili ngoba niyenze ngokufana, ni-contribute ngokufana. Now ake sibuye la ngale nkathi i-carbon, i-ultraviolet light ibe laphana, ibe exposed to carbon. I-carbon manje, one of electrons will jump from a lower energy level to a higher energy level, rendering 4 electrons that are unpaired. Awasenabo partner. Sasithini sibizani le process
where one of electrons, because of ultraviolet light, it comes from a lower energy level to a higher energy level. It comes from a lower orbital to a higher orbital. It comes from S orbital to a P orbital. Yini sibiza sithi in low process now, hybridization. Hybridization. Carbon, in its ground state, once it undergoes hybridization, it forms 4 unpaired electrons. Ngiyazi usho njalo nje uthisha azange ayichaze ngale ndlela le uvesene nje wathi carbon in its ground state. Now ground state lapha phansi emhlabathini cha. Carbon in its ground state will undergo hybridization, rendering 4 unpaired electrons. Right now, how do we represent this carbon? How do we represent carbon in its hybrid state? Hybrid carbon by representer kanje. Right, carbon. Ngamanye amazwi, each lobe yilelo nalelo bhamuza, ilobe leyo. Lobe. Each lobe represents 1 electron. 1 electron, carbon, njengoba inama electrons awu-4 kwi-outer energy level, idinga 4. Carbon can form 4 covalent bonds. Carbon. Hey bawethu, ungahamba uhambile kuma elements la ku periodic table. Carbon yodwa ekwazi ukwakha 4 covalent bonds. 4 covalent bonds. Carbon. Asiye kwi-hydrogen manje. Ngizoxoxela indawo ungayibuza. Hydrogen. Sithe i-hydrogen S orbital 1 electron. Okay. I-hydrogen njengoba ina S orbital u-round, u-S u-round nje na. 1 electron. I-hydrogen idinga enye electron to fill up its outer energy level. Hydrogen needs another electron to fill up its outer energy level. So i-hydrogen ina 1 nje ifuna la engasherisha khona. Iyosherisha ithola i-carbon uthi I'm available, let's share ama electrons. Ifike i-carbon, i-hydrogen ake i-1 ifike i-hydrogen iyakhe ilethe i-electron yayo. I-hydrogen can only form a bond ne orbital. I-electron yakhona should be of the opposite spin. Ayikwazi ukwakha i-bond if the spin is the same. So ifike ke i-carbon or i-hydrogen iyakhe i-bond la. Seyakhe i-bond la nansiya asithi zonke lezi ezibheke phansi. So there's a hydrogen. I wish I had a colored chalk. It makes more sense. Right, hydrogen. Tata 2 electrons. So kubonakalani manje i-hydrogen igcwele manje outer energy level yayo ngoba ile electron eqhamuka kwi-carbon ne-electron yayo igcwele. I-carbon yona senama electrons amangaki kwi-outer energy level? It's 1 2 3 4 5. Sewu-5 seyishoda nga-3 ngoba phela kuyasherishwa la. Iqhamuke enye hydrogen bakwethu ithi hawu nawe wenze njalo, hayi nami ngizoyenza lento oyenzayo, hlanganiyani iyakhe i-bond. Asifake la i-hydrogen yesibili iyakhe i-bond. sesinama covalent bonds amangaki na 1 2. Why is it a covalent bond? Because ama electrons are shared. Kunokuthi carbon ilose ama electrons or regain ama electrons, ngoba idinga 4 ina 4, it will rather share. Ifike futhi enye carbon iphume la, iyaqhuma la. Enye hydrogen iqhume laphana kwi-carbon. Mase iqhumile seyinama bonds awu-6. Inama electrons, ama-double bonds, inama bonds 1 2 3 covalent. Sokushoda eyodwa. Le hydrogen inama electrons amangaki? 2. Le hydrogen inama electrons amangaki? 2. Le hydrogen inama electrons amangaki? 2. Le carbon senama electrons amangaki? 2 4 6 7. Sokushoda eyodwa. 2 4 6 7. Sokushoda eyodwa. Ize enye hydrogen ithi bafowethu, hayi ningishiyelani nami ngaphandle, nami ngingakwenza lokho. Hlanganiyani, akhiyani bondi yayo. I-carbon manje seyinama electrons awu-6 awu-8 sebephelele manje. Lama electrons awu-8 awu-2 akha i-covalent bond eyodwa. Awu-2 eyodwa from hydrogen, eyodwa from carbon. So i-carbon can form ama-covalent bonds awu-4 covalent. Don't forget that. Each time carbon forms a bond, it must have 4 covalent bonds. Iloko fan to card. So it forms 4. Now what makes carbon so unique? Ngengabona kwenye incwadi ikhuluma the uniqueness of carbon. To be unique, ayifani namanye ama-elements. It's so unique. I-carbon iyakwazi ukuthi iyakama covalent bonds with other elements. Iyakwazi lo. Amanye ama-elements ayahluleka, kodwa i-carbon can do that. And uma ikwazi ukwakha ama-covalent bonds with other elements, we call that process catenation. Catenation. It's a process where carbon can form covalent bond with other elements. Now we have one nation isizwe. Sizwe zokhumbula ngesizwe nje ukuthi it forms with other elements. I-carbon iyathanda nje kube nesizwe yona, izinto ziqhume kuyona nje, iphethe yona i-carbon. That is why sithila ne-organic chemistry. Organic chemistry of carbon. That's what makes carbon unique. Ayifani nezinye. Abanye uzobethe akekho fana naye, bazama ukuthi u-unique lo muntu, akafani nabanye abantu. So we have catenation. It's in cocktail. Kukhona ama-elements. Lawo ma-elements akwazi ashoda nge-electron eyodwa to fill up their outer energy level. Only one. Njenge-hydrogen, i-hydrogen nayo ishoda ngeyodwa, kodwa manje umehluko ukuthi i-hydrogen yona ine-energy level eyodwa, so ishoda ngeyodwa to fill up its outer energy level. Imaphi na lawo ma-elements ashoda nge-electron eyodwa to fill up their outer energy level? Yilokho sithiwa ama-halogens. Halogens, group 7 elements. Oh, group 7 halogens. Ama-halogens. Halogens. Oh, yini na? Fluorine, bromine, iodine. Asibabambe nje la. Fluorine, bromine, chlorine, iodine. yalizwa igama lama-halogens in fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, in chlorine, bromine, fluorine, iodine. Amagama amnandi lawa. Ngisho noma ingane yakho nje first born umbiza chlorine, second born fluorine, third born bromine, fourth born iodine. Bayobuka abakho nje. Ukuze ungakhohlwa phela noma sewuyikhehla uyokwazi ukuthi ufluorine lo, uchlorine lo, ubromine lo, uiodine lo. Ngamanye amazwi icarbon iyakwazi ukuthi yabona njenge-hydrogen ishoda ngo-1 lana kungaba ne-chlorine lana kube ne-bromine ngoba nazo ama-halogens asalele nje i-electron eyodwa ukuthi igcwale. Iyakwazi futhi kube ne-iodine kube ne-fluorine. Buka nje i-carbon itaringa kangakanani. O-bromine baxhuma kuyona, o-chlorine baxhuma kuyona, o-iodine baxhuma kuyona, o-fluorine baxhuma kuyona. Injalo nje i-carbon. I-carbon bakwethu iyakwazi ukuthi mase i-undergoe nansi indawo. I-carbon iyakwazi ukuthi when it's ready to form a bond, say ready for, say undergo hybridization. Ithi i-carbon yokuqala le, i-carbon yesibili, ready to form a bond. After hybridization, i-carbon yesithathu. Okay. Bawethu, ake ngibuyele laphana kuqala before ngizala ukuze umuntu understand. Sithe laphana sinani hydrogen, carbon ne, hydrogen, bakwethu i-structures nje uyithola at a higher level. Manje siyahla nje sike-level le yase-high school lana bekenzela ukuchaza nje. Kodwa ke how do you draw this i-level efanelekile? Nansi i-carbon le iyakha i-bond naleyo hydrogen, iyakha i-bond naleyo hydrogen, iyakha i-bond naleyo hydrogen, iyakha i-bond naleyo hydrogen. Sine-structures nje. Nasi-ke esikhuluma ngazo, kodwa kumele u-understand ukuthi sisuka kuphi. Nasi. So ngamanye amazwi lana singaba nento enjani na? U-C, Br. Ungakhohlwa lo line owodwa umele i-covalent bond. Lo line owodwa umele ama-electrons amabili. I-electron iqhamuka ngapha neqhamuka ngaleni. Lana u-iodine, lana u-fluorine, lana u-chlorine. Sinento nje. So i-carbon can form i-bond ngaleli hlobo. Nansiya i-bond, nansiya i-carbon. Ake sithi i-carbon yokuqala, i-carbon yesibili, i-carbon yesithathu. Sishilo sathi each lobe represents one electron. Each lobe represents one electron. I-carbon iyakwazi ukwenza kanje. Ithi wesithi ngine-electron eyodwa, C1 nayo ngine-electron eyodwa. Let's form a bond. Asihlangane phela. Iyakhe i-bond la. One and one is two. Kusho ukuthi le carbon manje senama-electrons amangaki outer energy level? 1, 2, 3, 5. Why 5? U1 wangapha no 1 y. Le carbon inama-electrons amangaki outer energy level? 1, 2, 3, 5. iyakwazi-ke ukuthi we-carbon wena wesithathu wena uready na to form a bond uthi yebo nami ngi-ready ngi-undergo i-hybridization ngisuke from enye ama-electron yami idedeleke yagayina ilento yagxuma yaya kwi-p orbital. Hhayi-ke woza-ke mfowethu siyakhe i-bond nakho yakha i-bond. Konke lokho kwenzeka la, the condition is one, the electrons must be of the opposite spin. Seyihlangene ke manje le carbon senama-electrons amangaki kwi-outer energy level na u-1 u-2 u-4 u-6 ishoda ngo-2 to fill up its outer energy level. Ingaqhamuka nje i-hydrogen. Le carbon 3 ishoda ngama-electrons amangaki na 1 2 3 ngoba inamangaki 1 2 3 4 5 ina 5. Why ngibalela ngoba la u1 1 1 kanti idinga 2 2 2. So it's ina 3 electrons, idinga another 3 plus 2 lo, which gives us it's near 5 plus the other 3 lesele laphana, which is 8. Right. Iyaqhamuka ke asixoxe nge-hydrogen ngoba eyathanda ukuyigaxela i-hydrogen. Fika i-hydrogen, no problem. Sengikhuluma ke the uniqueness of carbon. What makes carbon so unique? I-carbon can form a long carbon chain. When i-carbon bond, i-chain yakhona ende ingaba nama-structures, just a long chain, i-chain nje leyo carbon. They can even exceed 500,000 of carbon. A long chain of carbon. So ke siyabona u-hydrogen lona nalona u-hydrogen nalona u-hydrogen nalona u-hydrogen nalona u-hydrogen nalona u-hydrogen nalona njalo njalo. Okay. Sicela ke Maseko usidwebele kwi-structure sala ngokubuka wena u-carbon about 3 bahlangene. Sekunani la u-hydrogen 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 hydrogen. Sinento nje carbon can form structure, a long carbon chain. Yakhe, a long carbon chain. That makes carbon so unique. Then sesingabheka ke uma seyakhe i-carbon chain enjena, then where do we go? I-carbon bakwethu ithe mase iqala say ready to form a bond. Asikhulume ngalabo carbon ababili. Let's say ready to form a bond. Iyakwazi ukuthi iforme i-bond la. Yebo. Mhlawumbe lana kufika i-hydrogen iforme i-bond. If lenye hydrogen ize la iforme i-bond. Lenye hydrogen ize la iforme i-bond. Enye hydrogen ize la iforme i-bond. Yo. Bese kutholakala ukuthi awusatholi manje amanye ama-elements that can form a bond. Isimo esingekho right. Isimo which is not conducive. Kuyenzeka nje ngoba abekho amanye ama-elements. Bese kwenzekani? Le carbon ithi mfowethu nginabo carbon nama-electrons amangaki kwi-outer energy level 2 4 6 7. Nalena ithi nawe nginangaki 2 4 6 7. U1 lo u1 lo. Kodwa buka ngendlela ame ngayo bame kanjani. Bese ithi no, ukuze ipheleliseke lento yethu kulungile mfowethu, yize le ndlela yokubonda kwethu ayikho right, i-strainers. Ithi kungcono singabonda sibonde kanjena iyakhe ilento ibond. Le bond lena eyakheke ngalendlela ayikho strong, ama-electrons alana awabambekanga ngqi ngoba indlela eyibonde ngayo is not favorable. Lana ibambeke ngqi ngoba ibonde kanjalo. Ngeke ngithi kubantu uma ngiphethe i-glue nginawo ochoka ababili ngibanamathisele nge-glue kanje. Angingakhulumi nge-chalk ngoba manje umuntu ake ngithi ngithathe iy'nsimbi ey'mbili ngiyazishisela kanje ezibhekene kanje, bese ngithatha ezinye iy'nsimbi ezime kanje, bese ngiyayigoba ngenkani lezo y'nsimbi ngiyishisele ngiyigobile. Izipho ezizosheshe ziqaphuke na ilezi eyishisele igobile. Iforce lana is very weak ngoba indlela ezishiselwe ngayo, indlela ebekade zishisela zihlangene ngayo, it's not favorable. Zime kanje zagotshwa ngenkani zaze zayenziwa kanje. Ukuthathe nje mhlawumbe qala thina angazi ke amakhandlela sakhona yini, qala sasithanda ukunamathisela into ethize ngekhandlela inamathela. Mayime kanje uzama ukuyinamathisela ngekhandlela, ngelinye ngiyobuya seyibuyele kanje. Ngizama ukuthini? Yebo, usinani sino-C iyakwazi ukwakha i-double bond between carbon. I-carbon, what makes so unique, iyakwazi ukwakha i-double bond. Ungakhohlwa kumele ama-bonds abe ifoma 4 covalent bonds. 1 2 3 4 nale 1 2 3 4 4. Kodwa enye ama-bond is weak. So ngoba manje i-bond lena e-weak sifunele elinye igama kwathiwa le strong le but it's a sigma bond, lena e-weak it's a pi bond. So njengoba i-carbon iyakwazi ukwakha ama-double bonds njena na, iyakwazi ukwakha a pi bond le ngaphezulu i-pi bond, le ngaphansi i-sigma bond. I-strong le ngoba indlela eyibonded ngayo it's favorable, lena i-weak indlela eyibonded ngayo is not favorable, which means the pi bond it's weaker than the sigma bond. Kodwa ngamanye amazwi ngiya kuphi na? Ngiya ekutheni i-carbon, what makes it so unique, it can still form double bond between carbon. Esimene esinzima kakhulu kuma extreme cases where utholakala ukuthi hayi kwasawona o-hydrogen abekho namanye ama-halogens nani abukho ngempela kuyabheda, irandi lilo donsa ngethizi iyakwazi ukuthi ifome ibond kanjena. Iyakhe i-pi nalana u-pi bond, iyakwazi i-carbon ukwakha triple bonds between i-carbon it 1 2 3 i-hydrogen na i-hydrogen. Kodwa yazi ukuthi lama bond are not favorable. Uma kwenzeka ahlangane nesimo esithize azoqashuka ahlangane nalapho, kusho ukuthi lama elements le compound lena le double bond or triple bond, it is most likely ukuthi lama bonds abreakeke uma kungafica ukuthi ikhona enye i-compound engakwazi ukuthi ihlanganise ama-electrons ala, iyakwazi ukuthi ibreakeke. So ke sizothi siqhubeke sibheke ukuthi njengoba sikhuluma nge-uniqueness of carbon. Uniqueness of carbon, it can form bonds with other elements, catenation. Uniqueness of carbon, it can form a long chain of carbon. That's what makes it unique. Other elements can't do that. The uniqueness of carbon, it can form double bond or even triple bond between itself. So that's what makes carbon unique.